Are you still wearing enough layers to...
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show right on the road. Welcome everyone to Stevenson University versus Mount Vernon Nazarene University. I'm going to call Mount Vernon, just to keep it short. It's going to be red versus blue on this activation match here tonight in the NECC. Stevenson will be on blue side, while it's going to be Mount Vernon on red. Our first map of the night is going to be Lijiang Tower. Now, the times were a bit changed around, so that explains why we're starting later. But from the get-go, we are seeing a similar mirror match in terms of brawl. We'll have to see him coming on through, but it sounds like Stevenson's going for the immediate teleport, while Mount Vernon's playing right for the point. Stevenson's got their work cut out for them. as they're going to have to be playing it very, very carefully here, going on into the point. I mean, the charge here is going to be 49 on the Junker Queen. Going to have to hit an impressive knife here. And with the assist of Wizards, able to get that hit down. But they are in very much deep amount of trouble. Just barely able to make it out alive thanks to the help of Cynic Hipster and Neon. Take a look here at Ocean Boy. He's really keeping up the team, allowing them to just run rampant into Stevenson's backline. Some great value to be seen right there. Taking a look. It's going to have to be Stevenson that has to reset for this first engagement as Mount Vernon has taken the point. So for Stevenson, next best thing to do here is to reset, build up these ults, and then make a decision from there on. However, they have lost their Lucio from the get-go. That's going to be a bit of a trouble, as we're going to be seeing Mount Vernon here just keep a hold on this choke point. We do see that Neon does have the Kasune Rush available. I'll have to see if they can utilize it here. As such, going on in, they need to get past the sim here. And with those turrets just in the way, that's just going to make things a bit more difficult than they have to be. And Topo Gaming has taken out Cynic yet again. They're having a lot of issues where players are getting picked off in the beginning of the match before a fight even starts, which really just stops any sort of push coming out from Mustangs here. Mount Vernon's holding strong going on in, and we do see that the Ramatra does in fact have the Nemesis form here. So we're gonna have to see if Stevenson can be ready to go in for a push. It's going to be a combo, but the damage is already there. We do see a trade with 49, able to get the Ocean Boy, but they're a little pushed to get anything further. All going in, trying to just make a touch here. Has to be real careful. The Genji Blade's coming on out, but he gets shut down. Last one alive is going to be 49 here. Able to keep alive thanks to the beat drop. And Moira's going to have to make sure they reset the start. So now it's going to be a regroup here from the side of Mount Vernon. Going to be going in for this next point here. From the looks of it, we'll have to keep an eye on Irrational here. Will it just be a simple teleport again, or is it going to be a bait and switch? Bait to go towards top and just rush down the mid. We'll see here momentarily as the Ramatra Topo Gaming is helping lead this charge. As for the side of Stevenson here, let's take it from the eyes of Quits, who's going to be looking to get a push into a backline character. Able to get rid of that immortality, followed up with the Baptiste, looking to finish the Lucio, and it's going to be a cleanup from here on. Great value to be found, no ults utilized there. So clean fight altogether. Nonetheless, neither side did have an ult to work with, but we will be seeing ults coming on deck here. We do see the swamps to the Soldier and the Genji from the side of Mount Vernon. I have to see if that's going to pay out in the long run here, especially given that there are about 50 seconds less to go. Slow goes on out, trying to just make Stevenson have to think about their actions before they go in. Mount Vernon's really just trying to get up to an ult here, trying to build up, but it's going to be the showdown here from the Junker Queen. They're trying to get this Babsies, but he just gets away for his better moment. Has to be real careful here. 49's going in really deep. There's about 10 seconds left. Does Mount Vernon even have a touch available is the question. And it seems they might just. Nitro here coming around from the backside. Able to get on. But it's not for long enough, as we're going to be seeing here. The kill from Quits. Able to get that triple. Beat drop comes out from the side of Cynic. Nitro trying to stay alive. Just needs that beat drop. But it's 2% away, unfortunately. Lloyd comes on out, and Doomfist unfortunately cannot make the touch. First round goes to Stevenson there. They're going to have to get the second one in order to really clean up the rest of the map. We are going to be heading inside to the control center. This is where you will see a lot of brawl. Stay strong. We will be seeing the Junker Queen mirror here. In fact, it looks like we're almost at an exact mirror comp. So the only difference maker going to be here is Quits versus FaZe. Who's going to be the one to really stand out? We go on in, and it's going to be a swap from Irrational off of the Symmetra. 49 is trying to go in, not able to find anyone quite yet, followed up by Wisner. But what's this? FaZe, on the other hand, able to get that first pick, and now taking a look from the eyes of Irrational, they're going to try to find someone in the back line here, possibly the Genji. But Irrational is going insane with FaZe there, just going all the way. Almost able to get that elimination, but just not quite. That's going to be a lot of ult charge build up there. 60% to the overclock. I mean, you can't ask for anything more from your DPS, finding so much value there. Have to be seen here from Stevenson's push. How are they going to make their way on in, especially set against someone as oppressive as FaZe? Let's tune into Cynic here, who's going to be helping lead the team in with a bit of a speed boost. Sune Rush has been activated, and leading the front line here is 49, able to find that first, second, trying to get a third, but it's not going to be happening today. And the point turns over to the Mustangs here. It's going to have to be Mount Vernon backing off and regrouping here, but they do have Rampage ready and on deck. So if Stevenson's not careful and they use Kasune Rush too soon, that will prove to be problematic. Their goal here is to get rid of Topo Gaming, but more importantly, FaZe, who has the overclock. Kasune Rush has been activated, as well as Beat Drop, which they're able to find that first one, looking for the next. It's really just a melee fest here from the way I see it. And it doesn't seem like Mount Vernon's going to be able to make a push into here. They need to back it on up. Regroup, play to live, and try to go for a next engagement. I mean, they have all ults available except Ocean Boy, which they used the previous fight. As for Stevenson, it's going to be a combo between 49 and Quits here with the Dragon Blade. Going to be going in, especially into a close space like this, is going to be really valuable. But I believe Stevenson knows they have the beat drop. They are able to get that immunity off. And looking over here, Irrational tries to mirror it. Neither side really finds the value they're looking for, but Irrational with the first pick, second pick, looking for that third. Yes, sir. That's going to be setting up Mount Vernon real well here, going into the second half of this round. So have to be seen here. Stevenson now a bit on the back end here, but they have the advantage in time for now. As long as they can turn over this point and utilize the ults, that's going to be helping them in the long run. We are seeing a very aggressive Mount Vernon play here, but it does not find any picks. Not something you want to see when you're pushing in like that. And we might be seeing the Rampage here activate, or not. FaZe goes off with the overclock, able to find the first, second, and third. Make that a fourth. Can we get a fifth? Can it be a cleanup? Yes, sirree. Now the Mustangs, having gotten all those outs out of Mount Vernon, have an opportunity to make a push here, but they have to be quick. If Mount Vernon plays this right, they can actually stall them out from making a touch. 10 seconds remain here. It's going to have to be 49 with the touch. Going in for it, and just barely making it, thanks to the Rampage. The bleed effect trying to go through best as it can, not able to finish it up on Lucio. Quits here in the backline, able to find the first, looking for the second. Teleport goes away, and Nitro with the beat drop. We're gonna have to be seeing Cynic here coming on in with a beat drop of his own, able to save Neon from certain doom. Dragon Blade's coming on out from Irrational, trying to find some picks, but not able to. Dragon Blade gets shut down, and Irrational just barely able to stay alive here. Playing it, duking it out with Quits, and Quits is able to come out on top for now. We do see a switch over to Tracer here from Wisner, and they do not take the point. In fact, it's a C9 on Stevenson's part. On the point. I am genuinely surprised. I thought Stevenson had that one in the bag, but you never know until you know, I suppose. Taking a look here, we're going to be going into the third round of map number 1 on Lijiang Tower. It's the Gardens. Very lovely place, beautiful place indeed. And taking a look at this, I'm expecting one of the DPS from the side of Mount Vernon to play the sim again to start, but they're not selecting it. They're going to be a bit behind here, in fact very behind in comparison to this teleport setup. Stevenson already on point. The odds are against Mount Vernon here, but Cynic playing it way too aggressive, gets picked off. That's going to prove disastrous, but Wisner's able to make the comeback here and going to be helping out with some more damage, but has to play the backline knowing how vulnerable they are against FaZe. FaZe is going to try to be pouring in all this damage here, and if they're able to get a successful pick-off like that, that's going to hurt Stevenson going into this next fight, because as we know, it's going to be the Junker Queen coming back around. They need to get that Genji, secure a pick, and move in. However, they are not to. Neon is the first to fall. Same with 49 and is going to follow up last but not least with Wisner. Neither side has actually captured the point yet, so any more fighting is really just for all charge. In fact, it could be argued a bit pointless. We do see the 49 Ryan here, something I actually have not seen in a while. So I'm curious how they're going to utilize this here, especially against Ocean Boy's Sune Rush going into this fight. We do see the Sim has the wall ready to go, teleports around, tricks them, but Topo Gaming able to get that double slash of the axe. That is gotta hurt. They do take down the Junker Queen to start, but that's not going to be enough here, as it's still in control of Mount Vernon.
Hello. Good to see you.
Quite an interesting play we're seeing here. Wisner over to the Sojourn and Neon to the Baptiste. They're trying to switch up their strategy here while Mount Vernon tries to keep them at a distance. We do see that both DPS ults are ready to go, both Irrational and FaZe, along with both supports. So this is not going to be too easy for Stevenson to really push through here. They're going to have to get a beautiful shatter here for value. That's going to be at first a big shatter, able to knock down the Lucio. If they can shut him down, he doesn't get his ult off. Reinhardt has to stay in immortality, but it's just not enough. Topo Gaming has just gotten too strong with the rampage, and that's going to put Mount Vernon in a really good spot here against Stevenson. Stevenson's going to have a tough one, having lost Wisner from the beginning of this fight. Neon has to be careful here not to fall off that edge. They're trying to build up to that window. They almost have it, and it will come up just now. So it's going to be a push over the bridge here. A very dangerous tactic, if you ask me. Nitro not able to find the boot they are looking for. Window on point. Neon able to help the team happen. Unfortunately for them, they do not have a beat drop available. They're going to have to play it back and play for stall. The blade comes on out from Quits. Quits able to find that first. It's really up to him to try to save it. They currently have control of the point and going to be going into overtime here. 49 has to get this in. Just barely able to make it on, as Stevenson has a breathing chance to win this. They're able to find the first and second picks, so they have the numbers advantage from here. From here on, we're going to have to see some further picks on supports such as the Kiriko. But nothing of the works happening just yet. However, we are seeing a turnabout here. It's just going to be the Junker Queen. And Stevenson is able to finally take that point, despite everything. So now Mount Vernon just has to play it safe. But we do see an immediate swap from 49 onto the Reinhardt. A very tactical, well-made choice, as we're going to have to see them deal with this upcoming push. Cynic here might be going in for a push with the sound boop, but it's not going to happen here as we see the rotation come around. Wisner has this pulse bomb ready and on deck, and they're trying to see if they can pick off this Genji here. They need to help their Reinhardt, who's struggling in the front line due to just how much pressure there is. Unfortunate for them. Reinhardt falls, and that's going to be the turn of the bout there. Its first map, more than likely, is going to go to Mount Vernon.
Hey. Hello.
A real changing of the tide, I would say. I mean, at the first map, or round I should say, we saw a dominant Stevenson University after a bit of struggle for that point. But then going into these next ones, we just saw a massacre. I mean, look how much space FaZe has here just to go wild against the Mustangs. That's what makes it real hard for them to try to get a further value. So we're going to be now going over to our next map, which is going to be along the lines of push, I believe. No? Escort. That's right. It's been a while since I saw the choices here. And just to double check myself here, we're going to be doing control, escort, and then push. A lot of people like Coliseum. We've been seeing Coliseum constantly these past couple activation maps. So next up is going to be escort. It's going to be Stevenson's choice to ban, I believe, while Mount Vernon gets map pick. I have to see how that works. Going into this here, it's the choices here are going to be Circuit Royale, Dorado, Junkertown, Route 66, Shambali Monastery, and Rialto. So with those choices at hand, we'll have to see. Watchpoint is banned. So I got it a bit backwards, but I don't believe Watchpoint is on the list. I will have to double check myself here, but oh, Watchpoint is on. No, that's for the regular season, isn't it? No, it is on there. I'm getting a bit confused. Sorry. Looking at an old thing. So we're going to be heading over to Rialto from the looks of it here. And I'm not seeing the side swapping as of yet. So I have to see what this story is there. I believe what we're going to be seeing in this game is another Brawl Fest, which I'm all for it. In fact, we're going to be seeing a lot of what I would describe as Junker Queen Brawl. It seems that that is the choices. And there's going to be a sub in. Topo Gaming is getting subbed out for Joey. Joey's going on into the game here. Both sides have readied up, and we're going right on in. Ladies and gents, welcome to Rialto, located in the heart of Italy.
Initiating match.
So we saw a bit of a tease there from Joey, I believe, on the Zarya. It's going to be an interesting pick here, especially for this map. You can make it work on the attack as long as your team's able to help you with the push. We if you do note, for those of you that are aware, there have been some map add-ons here, such as the bridge, as well as other boats. They're really more towards around the very edge of the map that you'll notice these changes, but otherwise this map has pretty much not changed too much since Overwatch 1, minus a few boxes. We'll be seeing here Stevenson on the defense to start running the same comp as they did going into Lijiang Tower.
Not a fan of your home team, huh?
Don't put words in my mouth.
As for the side of Mount Vernon, we did see the Zarya, and it's going to be the push with Zarya here. I'm interested with the decision. Not sure by it, but it's definitely a setup for a complete fight of a brawl. FaZe has taken complete control of the high ground to start. We do see an attempt from Quits to try to regain it, but nothing too much to gain from that. A beautiful knife in there, and just having to wait out that bubble. Stevenson is playing it much more passive than I believe they would have. But now we're going to be seeing the aggression push on in. But not for too long. Stevenson knows that they cannot fight out in the open here, as that's not going to be their friend in the long run here. Taking a look over at Irrational. But I hope the Zarya here, Joey, make their push on in against the Junker Queen. Hitting quite a good amount of shots there too, if I might add. But they need a bit more aggression, as Quits has been able to pick someone off successfully. It is FaZe. With them assisting is going to be Wisner here on the Soldier, just looking for another pickoff. Ocean Boy, on the other hand, does have a window available, and with Reaper as well as Irrational, or FaZe and Irrational I should say, that's going to help them set up for a real good time. But they may want to try to hold on to that, as Kasune rushed and Overclock has been activated. Able to keep their team alive. Neon is on the ball, but Wisner and Quits going in further for more. Probably going to be just a cleanup session here. Going to be helping to get rid of that Reaper with the Genji, as it's going to be Mount Vernon waiting for their teammate to come on back. We do see that only 2 ults were used from Stevenson, and they're able to build up another 3. FaZe here looking to just try to make a pick off here, see if they can get Wisner, but it's not going to be happen as easily as they would hope. Wisner with the pick off onto Ocean Boy. That's going to put things in perspective. We do see Stevenson is down 1, but with the assistance of Quits, it matters not going into this. FaZe just going to take the death there and regroup. We do see Blade as well as Grab. All 5 ults are ready to go. So Quits here from the side of Stevenson. Quits is going to have to reflect this Grab immediately. It's only a matter of time of when do they do it. Quits either needs to stay near or away from 49, who's going to be the main target here for the Grab, unless it's the healers. Beat drop comes on out for the 1, and Dragon as well from Quits here. Not really able to find anyone. That's going to put him at a issue. First one to find Wisner, but Wisner from beyond the grave gets Irrational. It's a bit of a trade fest here from either side. If they're able to get to the healers, that's going to be Stevenson's advantage, but I don't think that's going to be happening here as Joey makes the cleanup. Hoping to lead this will be Joey. Stevenson needs to make this touch back onto point, and they're able to do just that. Junker Queen makes it on the side past the window, but the Blade in the back line here looking for one. It finds Wisner. They're able to find Cynic. Neon falls next along with 49. It's just Quits trying his best to get that overtime. Successfully does so. But Stevenson either needs to teleport on out or run as fast as you can. Cynic's in a bit of trouble there. And I would have said, Stevenson, you need to teleport away. They added that feature for the new game here in order to make sure you don't get caught out that easy like that, because those cost you fights. So Stevenson now down by 2 is at a disadvantage for a moment, which is what Mount Vernon needs to push on in. Joey here is going to be taking full control of these stairs while the cart moves progressively. Cart on the ground and tanks on top. No side is really taking advantage here, but we do see Irrational get picked off there by Wisner as the teams push their way on in. It's going to be an initial stop with 1:30 left. That overtime really was of value there for the side of Stevenson, but now you got to watch out. Mount Vernon here has the grab on deck. They just need to help their team get set up, and they're able to get off the grab, finding the first and second. It's going to be both here. Stevenson's in a very desperate state at the moment, trying to find the picks. As 49 is the first to fall. Quit's able to find Ocean Boy, but that's not going to be enough, as we're going to see Wisner fall as well. Neon and Cynic make their way back from spawn, but there's 60 seconds left on the clock and no one to truly contest the point. Stevenson going for the rush. It's too late. Neon has fallen. And that's going to be the point there. Stevenson is going to have to play for some ult charge here, but ultimately back on out of there. They do not want to fight this fight. As we're seeing here, a real hand to the side of Mount Vernon to keep Stevenson at a distance, denying the touch there. From there, we're going to be seeing Irrational with the quadruple make that the quintuple kill. A full team wipe there against Stevenson. We do see that FaZe and Ocean Boy already on deck with their ults, but same can be said about Wisner and Quits here. Whoever gets the most value in this initial fight is going to come out victorious. The Blade is met with the overclock, and just that initial. Quits also make sure to activate their Dragon Blade. And that's going to be both of Stevenson's ults. They only have 49 coming on deck with the Rampage. That's going to put him in a bad situation here, especially against Beat and Window. Joey is at completely full charge. This is not what you want to have to fight against unless you can pressure him down. We're going to be seeing a push in here, but it's going to be halted by Irrational's Fell. So now it's going to be Mount Vernon on a bit of the back pedal here, as they're going to have to wait for the regroup here with the pickup. Irrational back into the game. So we're going to be seeing a push here. Grab most likely going to be targeting Cynic once again here. And a beautiful grab has been activated there. Stevenson has no chance. But 49 does activate their ult, yet it's just not enough. A full team kill. No one's able to make it back. And with 10 seconds, 11 seconds left on the clock, round 1 is complete. Now, if you were to ask me what went wrong there, what was the issue that we saw going into each fight, I would say probably a bit of over-ulting. Over-ulting in some of these fights where, say, both DPS ults got activated. Yes, it secures you the fight, but then you didn't really have a game plan following up from there, and that's what makes things difficult going into this. So for the side of Stevenson, I think they need to play a bit of a different comp compared to the Junker Queen. Otherwise, if they want to run it, they need to make a different decision, if that makes sense. But let me try to put it another way. When you run this sort of Junker Queen comp, you need to go fast, aggressive, and with firepower. What we saw at Zarya's comp there with Joey is that they had the Reaper to assist with FaZe on the Genji. But Stevenson didn't have that. They had a lot more poke and chase after whoever's low. And unless they're truly low, they're not able to get the picks they are looking for. So we'll have to see what Stevenson's push here is to start. We do see the selection of Wisner on the soldier. That's going to be a lot of consistent high damage with the aim. So seeing a far rotation from Stevenson to avoid any sort of knockoff, as they're going to be taking the high ground here. Stevenson on the high ground has full control, and they're going to actually be able to push into the Zarya, who is out of position, as well as Nitro. Nitro tried to escape, but no avail. Cynic also, on the other hand, falls, so no side has speed to work with and is down a healer. So we'll have to see who's going to take really the lead here, and it's going to be Mount Vernon, having taken out Stevenson's VPS. Stevenson needs to back off here and play to live in order to try to get another push. But things are looking very, very dire here. So I have to see a bit of a change up here over to the Reinhardt. If you can't outmaneuver them, just simply outpressure them, provide your team with a shield, and move on in with the charge. We do see that Wizard does unfortunately get picked off with the Zarya right click from a distance. 49's trying to keep some space here while recharging the barrier, but they had to be careful about balancing the time of when to have it and not to have it up. Wisner has fallen yet again. They must have been picked off over by the bridge. 49 is in a world of hurt, and it's hard for him to really find the space they're looking for. I would have to say Stevenson needs to get almost uncomfortably aggressive into their backline to try to spearhead through this choke. Wisner has fallen again! Oh my word! Poor Wisner, every time he makes it back to the fight, he keeps getting picked off. No! It's like that meme of the kid getting hit in the head with the soccer ball every single time. Beat drop comes on out, and it's going to be a shatter. Able to find that kick they are looking for. Clean up with the fire strike. And they finally are able to get past this corner. However, it is important to note that was only grab. So given that grab is down, every other ult is on deck, and it's going to be up to Quits in order to make a play here. Things are going to be quite difficult going into this, as we'll have to see an immediate blade into the backline, just missing the initial slash. Things are looking very dire for Stevenson. It's going to be a 1v1 here against the Genji. They find the pick they're looking for. They need the shutdown phase immediately in order to get the value. They're able to escape out just in time, but not able to find the shots yet. Reinhardt down with the barriers. It's a tank battle in front, and they're able to get the Lucio knocked off the map. The blade comes on out. Irrational trying to keep the distance. He does so for a moment, but that's going to be it. Now Stevenson has the point, and Nitro has to be careful, caught on the open, but able to escape with their live. Stevenson now has 2 minutes 50 seconds on the clock, more than what Mount Vernon had for second point. However, Mount Vernon almost went completely uncontested second point. Can Stevenson match that in order to get more time to work with? We'll have to find out here going into this next fight. Being led here by Joey into the high ground. They are not afraid. In fact, they're just trying to play with poke, target Stevenson's backline, and go from there. While Stevenson, they're looking for the shatter here. As soon as that bubble drops and they have enough healing, he's going right for the play. I can tell immediately. There it is. But unfortunately, he gets blocked by a Zarya. They could see it coming from a mile away, and the beat drop just barely able to save everybody. Cynic on fire here with the save. It's going to have to be Stevenson playing it a bit safe, as we're going to be hearing the overclock within Kasune Rush, and Zarya is just being a complete menace to the backline. with the assistance of FaZe, Ocean Boy, and Irrational. Some great value there found from Mount Vernon. A minute 30 left on the clock. Stevenson is really under the blade here to try to get a value. We do see that Neon has the Amplification Matrix and the Dragon Blade is online. So let's see if they can find the value they're looking for. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if Stevenson's kept track that Nitro has the B drop here and is just waiting in anticipation for the DPS ult to come on out and save his team when it matters most. It'll be any moment now here as we see the drop onto point. It's going to be a push onto that Dragon Blade, but Nitro does not activate the B drop. They are able to shut down Quits after he gets the triple, but that's not going to be enough. With the help of 49, their FaZe is going to be forced to back on off. 58 health and a dream. Nitro, you do not want to be in there. Some great maneuvering, I might say, from FaZe there. They should not have typically made it out alive, but as a soldier, anything's possible. It's like just a hit scan version of Genji, if I'm honest. Just truly is. Let's take a look here over at Neon, being ready to receive the blade and heal the team up. It's going to be Irrational, who cannot find any value. So that's a great play for Stevenson to get it out of them. Going to take a look here. Whoever gets the first pick is going to be making the push into the other team here. Reinhardt trying to find someone. Joey is very, very injured. And it's going to be Cynic that falls. Now it's against Stevenson to not fall themselves. They get the immortality out. Neon needs to stay alive, but it's just not enough. And Stevenson is going to be forced here for the regroup. 49 going to go off the edge. Unfortunately for the Mustangs here, they only have a minute left on the clock, and Wisner is not in a good spot. They need to get him out of there to play to live. Almost all ults are available for Stevenson, while for the side of Mount Vernon, the Shatter comes out. However, they're not able to stop that Katsuna rush, and they shut down Quits. What a beautiful shot there. They're trying to get Wisner now, but it's not going to be happening. Bap also falls there, as does Wisner. 49 trying his best to stay alive, but they have 30 seconds on the clock. Stevenson needs to play for this overtime here, and it's up to Quits to try to be a game changer with this blade. We do see the swap over to Baptiste. Going to try to go for amplified healing and survivability over cleansing. An interesting strategy, I must say. The Mustangs are going to have to push into them here. Try to get past this front line. If not, absolutely decimated. The immortality comes out from both sides, and it's going to be Quits that falls first. Zarya is just so strong against Genjis. The laser beam does all the work for them. Blade comes on out. Irrational looking for the picks. Neon makes the touch, but Cynic falls. Neon's next, and that's probably going to be it here on map number 2. We do play all 3 maps, so we're going to be heading to the next map here momentarily after this play of the game. Honestly, I'm not surprised to see Joey got that play of the game there. I mean, Joey himself was a force to be reckoned with on the Zarya. I mean, completely oppressive. So Stevenson really has their work cut out for them. They've, in a sense, of this best of 3, are down and out of it. However, we do see that Coliseum does get banned. Finally. Personally, finally. Couldn't wait for that thing to be gone. I would say Stevenson needs to probably try to see if they could work in a dive, as we're going to be going to Esperanza. Esperanza is great for the Winston dives, as well as Diva. Diva's probably not going to be working here, seeing as they have the Zarya, but the Winston can have value. As long as they beware of the Reaper when it appears, they should be just fine. They could also utilize Reinhardt more. I believe that's going to be helping them in the long run. We are seeing a lot of forced BAP Lucio as well as Kiriko Lucio, which is great when you have self-sustain, but other than that, that's a rough one. It honestly is. So with that, we're going to be going into here onto Esperanza momentarily. They just had to make sure they get their screenshots going, but don't worry, we have a stream. It's going to get taken care of. Don't worry about it. But I would say Stevenson's in a tough spot. We do see the sub in for Rinzer here. An interesting choice. Quits is out. Rinzer is in. A DPS swap there. We'll have to see if it pays off. Both sides are ready on up, and we're going to head right on into it once they hit that button. Welcome everyone to Esperanza. Still working the pronunciation, so pardon me. Match will start here momentarily, and unless Mount Vernon saw it, we saw the Torb and Ramatra. Not a bad pick for this map. What I'm expecting to see there is with this Torb and Ramatra, they're going to try to outspam Mount Vernon. I like the concept. In fact, it also helps to shut down the Genji. By having that extra turret there, it's like having an extra person just automatically shoot at your opponents at all times. It's very annoying. And if they don't pay attention, it results in eliminations. So we'll have to see here how it's going to come of value. But that's not going to be the case at all. Instead, we're seeing a dive come out from Mount Vernon. Something that I was hoping Stevenson would do, while Stevenson's still going through with the Junker Queen. Interesting choice. I mean, it's there. They also work the Moira with the Tracer. So it's going to have to... They're going to have to find value is all I can say. Junker Queen has great value against Winston as a whole. In fact, they're off the Sombra. So that's going to be an even better situation for them. But Mount Vernon, if they can outmaneuver Stevenson, they have full control of this map with high ground, low ground. In fact, we do see 49 is a bit taken aback seeing the dive. However, seeing that FaZe has fallen, they're going to be starting making their push, and Joey is not in a happy place, as we can see there. That's gotta hurt. Having Tracer run at you is just one of the most dangerous things to have to face as a tank, especially with such a big head as Winston for a hitbox. So that's going to be a first capture of this point for Stevenson. But, oh, here comes Joey Zarya. Ooh, boy. Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And we're going to be seeing how much value they got with the Zarya here against Stevenson. Stevenson is playing a bit more of a hardy type of comp, but it's not hardy enough. We do see Rinzer fall. Stevenson's trying just to get the point, and Neon is the next to go. We do see that the post bomb is available, but it's best for Wisner to save it here if they can make it out alive. It's looking a bit difficult for them. Just trying to get over to that corner. They have just enough blinks to get away. In fact, they're playing it very close, very dangerously close. Not as close as I want them to be, in fact. I think they're too close. But we'll have to see. The Pulse Bomb is ready to go. They find the first pick. They can stick the Lucio here. An opportune chance, just missed, unfortunately. What's this? Might be seeing a pick from above. Just plays it for the recall, able to get that Kasuda Yosh. And the pulse gets off. Doesn't find any kills, but does deal a great deal of damage. And the neon beat drop coalescence. Oh my god, it's just mayhem out here right now. I gotta take a step back as we gotta see here. It's gonna be Stevenson who actually, unfortunately, gets out pressured. It had initially great damage, but Mount Vernon was coming out on top with consistency and spacing. So Stevenson needs to work the difference there. In fact, Stevenson's about to lose the advantage here at point, which can easily be retrieved, but they cannot give up the first point close spawn. If they do, that's going to spell some issues for them going into this, as that close spawn once taken gives the first capture close respawns when they fall, and it's going to be 49 fallen with the point capture here. Close spawn has been activated for Mount Vernon. Wizard gets a successful pick on the phase, but Irrational is able to follow it on up. Stevenson going to be forced to back off here with Rampage online. Irrational here has the blade to work with. It's really just playing on the site for now. They're trying to just get as much space taken as possible before they are forced to engage in the fight. For Stevenson, they are trying to look for something more. They're able to get the initial pick, looking for the elimination. They get it onto Genji. Trying to keep their team alive. They're making their way on in. You do see the fall of 49, but they're able to get the trade on the Joey and Ocean Boys, so the value has been found. So now all Stevenson needs to do is get it halfway. As we both know, it's going to be close spawns for everyone, except for FaZe. FaZe does get the close spawn. I am completely incorrect. They do get the close spawn as anticipated. So now it's going to be up to this pulse bomb yet again. Just best case scenario, stick it right on the Lucio. But it seems Lucio's playing a bit too aggressive for his own good. So now we're going to be seeing an aggressive play from Stevenson to make the push in on here. Joey has the gravitational flux. The beat drop comes as Dragon Blade is met. Rinzer is just having a dastardly time in the back line. Poor guy. But that's going to be a cleanup there against Mount Vernon. It's just what Stevenson needed. And it's going to be long spawns all the way. So this is a great news for Stevenson. However, they're still down Rinzer, and they're going to have to wait for them to come on back. They'll try to get this point as far as possible. Even better if they can get the initial first point. And with that, they do, which denies immediate respawn opportunity for the side of Mount Vernon, and they're going to be playing it back. They actually do not want to engage this fight. They know that they're at a disadvantage just playing it out in the open. Assuming the Wizner again, who has the option to go after the Kiriko, makes the teleport become forced, and just barely able to get that Kiriko. They need another pick here. Trying to get the Lucio, does so successfully with the help of Rinzer, and that's going to be the cleanup there. However, we do see that the only one left alive is going to be Joey, and high charged at that. They need to shut down Joey from having such charge. Either don't hit him or get rid of him before he can stay alive. That is the goal here. And they deny close spawn. That's all Joey needs to do. From there on, Joey needs to just simply back off, wait for the team a bit before making their next push in. We do see Kasune Rush is available from Ocean Boy. It's going to be activated here. Push coming on in. Rational very injured, but nothing yet. False bomb once again. Has the opportunity to be used here, but they're just looking for a pick onto Nitro. Almost have it, in fact, but it's going to be a full heal. Tuning in the face, finding that first pick there, and trying to get the next. They do so on the Rinzer, and the point has progressed beautifully. Taking a look at this, we will be seeing that it's going to be making its way up around the corner here. But the one to meet them is going to be 49. Best time for them to get this Rampage off. Right around the corner. Pulse bomb beautifully placed. Unfortunately for 49, he got stuck on the pole. Oh, you hate to see it indeed. Looking to get the pick up on the phase, but not going to be finding it there as Wisner has fallen. Even 49 must mention, stopped by light pole. Truly an unfortunate situation there. 49's playing it real close there. In fact, they're trying to get real aggressive. They only get that slash in. However, the grab is too much, too damaging. And Joey is just cleaning up whoever they can find, shutting down the Coalescence just through pure sheer will. Has to be careful about going out so aggressive like that, as the runner was right behind for the touch. Cynic Hipster and Rinzer has fallen along with 49. It's not going to be really anyone else able to touch. And ladies and gents, even with the pulse, that's going to go over to Mount Vernon. Well, that's going to wrap it up on here tonight for us. And without a doubt, Joey, with the play of the game here, just pure beamage. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all next time.